We have 97 Blossom by The Blossom. It's 6 songs, 18 minutes, so
Drop!
it's definitely a drop. This is a fun drop.
Yeah.
It's I think I've heard of The Blossom a little bit before from like just some indie channels and stuff around, so I didn't know that they were doing a drop, but it's good. Confetti starts off like it's this blend between
Bedroom indie pop.
bedroom indie pop and like straight up pop, normal pop. So I call this the I forget how I worded it in my head, but it'll come to me later on. But anyways,
Yeah.
moving on. So first track is Confetti, and that's definitely that like that bedroom poppy-ish sound of a little bit stripped back, more acoustic, very, very good female vocal voice because females are killing it in the indie game right now.
For sure.
And it's a good start to the little drop. After that, you have like Hardcore Happy, which is more of that, still kind of similar to that acoustic, but then you get more instrumentation throughout it. So those two tracks are pretty similar through it.
Yeah,
and it's
Hardcore
like, but then like, yeah, so, but the theme with Hardcore Happy is like halfway through, then it pops into I call it modernized indie. I'm trying to think of a pop, like, where I'm still not
indie plus trap snare.
Yeah, because I'm not truly a big fan of it because it's that almost like Sacred Lonely Hearts Club from Foster the People style, where you add trap to an indie track. But luckily, but good for Hardcore Happy, it's not the entire track. It's just like halfway through. It's more of an additive than being the entire, title sponsor of the track. So after that, you've got Smoke featuring Matt Champion. Don't know who that is. And that sounds decent because then you're having like more of that like spoken word style, almost like singing rap within that indie rap-ish song too. So that's like that. I call it modern indies. I like, as we go along here in Audioface, creating new genres.
Yes, left and right. You have to almost talk about genres in different ways as it's all happening.
Because I've been hearing this more and more. I'm still like on the fence of if I like it, if I don't like it, because it's still something that's very new. It's something that's being pushed out a little bit more. It is different, which I do like. It is something that is experimental. There's a few artists I've been trying it out. This is probably the better, like Smoke, I think is a good rendition of it because you've had some other artists throughout, like, and this is my critique that I had in our earlier bonus episode of State of Music Industry, where more alternative bands are doing this or more alternative sounds are doing this, but it's becoming so copycatted and cookie cutter now where it's really like just spreading through like a wildfire throughout the industry that I don't think it's good for it.
It's just like kind of generic sounding.
Yeah, exactly. And it's just, there's not too much thought in it. We already had like experimenting with this a few years ago and I already warned about it. Like, I don't like that sound for it, but for this, I think this is the better version of it.
Yeah. Where I go into this, you go afterwards into. No, sorry. The thing I was going to say to that is the counterpoint around having this new kind of thing, which I think is still kind of blossoming. We are introducing more, like modernized indie, let's say, where we're taking what pop is, which pop is just. You've done this before, but it's been a while. Pop is just popular music, but over time, what pop has sounded like has changed based on the
time of the times. It depends on
because pop borrows from all the other genres that are happening at that time. Exactly what you're saying. Exactly. So now indie is doing a similar thing that pop is doing, and of course it makes sense because indie, bedroom pop, we're all kind of in the same like mix here, not too far away. But when you're getting those blends, which people are kind of calling for and wanting for, which is a good thing, you're getting people to like discover new genres, much the same way that we had an album that we reviewed. Like it was like another like indie woman EP. I think Sophia Valdez or something.
Okay.
That's like we could.
We also had like Arlo Parks and stuff earlier this year as well, but that's like I think Arlo Parks is like the gold standard for that.
Yeah, for sure. But there's definitely just like numerous examples of bridging these things together so that people who like generally think of themselves as music listeners only to pop then discover these new things.
Yeah, it's a gateway drug into the world of indie and other artists and stuff. Like after Smoke, you have Sifter, which is like your stereotypical indie song of 2021, where it's like a throwback sound, like a Pale Waves, B2B, Phoebe Bridgers style of like throwing it back to the 90s-ish standard early aughts. indie sound, which is fine.
Yeah, not very synthy, very guitar focused.
Yeah, exactly.
Pretty nice. Shapeshifter and Black Eye specifically lyrically are very deep kind of songs touching on like issues of like identity and like expressing that and having that. So it's all very good.
Yeah. I like this. It's the more I listen to this EP, the more I enjoy it. The first listen I had, or drop, I should say, the more I listen, the first listen I had, I was like, I'm kind of on the fence in it. The more I understand, the more I grow to like it, which is good. So saying something like within the indie head in me is trying to figure out what this sound can do within an indie context. But I like it because I like the parts where it's not every song is the same bloody thing. And I think that's the issue I'm having with a lot of alternative sounds. Because like after Shapeshifter, you have Black Eye, which is a slowed down track, and you have Cloves at the end, which is...
Close at the end kind of returns to that you're coming back to in modernized pop sounds, but it's not at all over-offensive.
No, it's not. It's kind of blending your 90s sound with your modernized indie sounds, because you're doing more of that like stripped back vocals. You almost sound like you have like a Blink 182 sound with a guitar in the background and everything, but then you're adding a trap, more modernized sound into that, which is a very interesting mix because you don't hear that often. So it's very experimental, a lot of different sounds that I think if more people listen to this and get into this, there's going to be a lot more that can transform into a lot of even like different sub-genres and sub-things. So it's exciting for it. I like it though.
Yeah, needless to say, Blossom is blossoming for sure. And with my last moment will be like with Cloves, is that it's a good balance of trying to do the modernized pop thing while keeping things with indie.
Yeah, you're doing both things a service. You're doing both things a justice for what it sounds.
Yeah,
so.
And it's a lot of range and exploration for 6 songs.
It is!
Sort of 19 minutes, which makes things like Stairs to the Pile of Shit, that is Kid Ink's most recent album, it makes those stand out a little bit more.
Yeah, because you have less than 20 minutes and you do that much, and we talked that long about it, but Kid Ink's album is
Kid Ink did,
trash,
not counting bonuses, 10 minutes more, and it was just much worse. It was way more generic, not even trying to blend these different things. Yep. We've talked about artists who like we didn't like when they blended, and we didn't give them like the best scores. We always said, I will give you this, that you tried it, and it didn't land perfectly, but I saw what you did.
But we'll give you the benefit of that. I'll be like, okay, fair play, you did it. It didn't work, but good for you for trying.
Yeah, this more or less worked, especially in this small kind of format where it's experimental. She's going to grow and get better at this.
This is what you do with a drop. This is what you do with the EP. You experiment, you branch out, you try different things, see what sticks, see what you like, see what you want to improve upon, and then release whatever else comes out as an LP, and then you're good to go.
To our arbitrary scale that we do every week, because actual music scores there's no point to them, so let's just start with that from the beginning. A questionable Venmo history from different artists. I'm going to say that this is one of those like routine things that you're like Venmoing someone for like a bill that they cover or pay for. But you start to have to get creative with the emoji because you're sick of doing the same thing over and over again.
This is like doing like a music lesson or like a swim lesson or something under the table and putting the emoji, but then putting a question face next to it because you're like,
Swim, question mark?
Yeah, exactly.
Snowflake, question mark? Anyways.